Intro. The title of this book is Over the Hill. Not. Our Western society is totally driven and fixated on being young. We have an expression that when a person reaches the age of 40, he is considered over the hill. Many people say that half of your life is over. For many people, they think, my life is half over, and they have a midlife crisis. At Google, many young software engineers start to feel obsolete at 29 years old. A great sense of paranoia sets in. We are fighting a losing battle. We come into this world, live, and someday we leave this world. Nobody can escape that. Yet, at the same time, we try to hold on to our youth for as long as we can. I remember when I was just starting to learn how to surf. When a person reached the mid-50s, mid-30s, they would retire from surfing. I lived in Maui in my 40s, and I rode waves as high as telephone poles. A dear old friend named Rick Shadowlawn is still surfing in his late 60s. Times have changed, our attitudes on life have changed. This book is about thinking outside of your box. To be honest, the Western world has a warped attitude about the elderly. In our working environment today, there is a huge age discrimination, especially in the IT world. By the time one reaches the mid-50s, you are considered over the hill. You are washed up and have no place inside of the company. I experienced this time and time working for different Fortune 500 companies in America today. When a person reached the mid-50s, they were put out to pasture. Mind you, they might get tremendous severance paid. In order to receive it, you must sign a document that you will not sue them for age discrimination. This happened to me and countless others. I once had a job interview with a company that was owned by Dell Computer. The first interview was over the phone. Before we hung up, he said, "This was the best interview I ever had." The next day, I walked into the office for my face-to-face. As soon as I walked into the door, he looked at me and his jaw dropped. He wasn't expecting someone my age to come in. As a matter of fact, he couldn't remember the phone interview we had the day before. In my mind, who is older? Someone whose mind is constantly learning and growing, or a mind that has certain concepts about someone who is older. This is the epidemic today in America. Hopefully this book may provide some great advice on your journey in life. The majority of people live their entire lives in autopilot. We watch the latest drug commercials and take it all in. When something goes wrong, we go to the dear old doctor who will give you a pill. Mind you, this pill has tremendous side effects. Yet, we trust the medical profession. They would never mislead the public. Did you know that if you don't pay attention towards your health, someday disease will pay attention to you? This book will help you get wiser with age. Our wine can get much better as we age. We can never stop learning. A person who completely retires from life will soon end up in a box. I mean this quite literally. When one learns new things, the brain establishes new neural networks. Even when you think something out of the box, instantly a neural network gets created. Yet, in a space of a few days, one doesn't pay attention and not do anything about it, the neural network will collapse. All your positive and negative habits are neural networks. They're literally hardwired into your brain. If you want to enjoy life to its fullest, we must understand the mind, body, and soul connection. We must learn how to be conscious moment by moment. We must be aware. Remember, 95% of your actions come from your subconscious mind. We're living our lives in autopilot. We must learn how to reprogram our software in each and every moment. To be honest, most of humanity doesn't even have a clue how to do this. Recently, I saw a great article where we see only 1% of the light spectrum. This means we are almost missing the entire picture of life. Yet, we think we see it all. I find that quite fascinating. As I said before, the human body is hardwired and has the software to discover the quantum field. The human body is literally hardwired for this. The door is always open, yet do we have the eyes to see? Ponder this over. What do you think? Age is timeless. What if I told you in about 100 years we would have this incredible device? Imagine putting on a ring before you get up from bed in the morning. As soon as you put the ring on, you merge with the quantum field. You are no longer a body. You are beyond time and space. You have entered a field of intelligence that is beyond time and space. The Buddhists may call this Buddha mind. Christians may call it the kingdom of heaven. Scientists may call it the quantum field. Imagine this device has the intelligence to scan your body and sense if any negative energy or darkness appears in your auric field. Scientists discovered way back in the 1990s that darkness first appears in your auric field, and then slowly through time, it appears in your physical body. During the early 2000s, Western medicine still used drugs which had tremendous side effects to try to heal most diseases. Mind you, these drugs had tremendous side effects. By the way, most drug manufacturers were interested in making huge profits, and your health was secondary. This device knew what custom chemicals and hormones which the human brain and heart knew how to produce. Imagine the universe drugstore exists inside of you, and this device was intelligent enough to know precisely what energy frequencies, chemicals, and hormones was needed to bring the mind, body, and soul into alignment. This experience only lasted for around a minute, yet it seemed timeless, which it was. Upon getting out of your bed, you were in perfect harmony throughout the day. In the past, your subconscious mind controlled 95% of your actions. It still does. Yet mankind learned how to reprogram the subconscious with the quantum field. All past negative experiences were transformed. The survival mechanism of fight and flight was once again totally stabilized. Remember, in the early 2000s, mankind's faucet of adrenaline was turned on, and mankind didn't know how to turn it off. Consequently, diseases was rampant throughout the land. Most mental diseases and physical diseases were eradicated a long time ago. You see, mankind discovered how to be in balance with the quantum field. War was a thing from the past. Politics changed so much we couldn't even recognize it today. Nobody could run for office without being in a state of love, kindness, and compassion. Because people lived in the quantum state, someone who tried to run for office, you could literally smell and sense the darkness. people could see integrity and see the harsh ego of those who only wanted to serve themselves. You see, mankind in such a short time learned how to evolve emotionally to such a high level. My timing may be off, yet this will come true. Mystics have talked about this for thousands of years. Today, modern-day scientists and mystics are merging their various technology. The ring has existed inside of you for thousands of years. Great teachers like Muhammad, Christ, and Buddha knew how to discover the jewel that exists inside every one of us. Today, we're inching towards a new revolution of love. Just think, 30 years ago, a brain scan device cost about $20,000. Today, a Muse 2 costs around $250. The cost over time will come down, even more over time. Each device will get smaller and more sophisticated. Dr. Joe Dispenza, in his week-long retreats, is photographing the auric field and the photos displayed in various colors, the state of the energy centers or chakras. During the 7-day retreat, people learn how to transform themselves. Many incredible diseases have been cured by his students. The students learn the power to heal lies inside of themselves. Each human being can access their natural drugstore to heal almost any ailment. What's amazing is, after the retreat, they once again photograph the energy centers and the darkness and balance has disappeared. This has happened thousands of times. Dr. Joe Dispenza has a huge database which scientists and universities are using around the world. Another incredible institute is the Heart Math Institute. They have been the forefront of discovering heart coherence. This is from their website. Adding heart translates into increased care and genuine connection with others and harmonizes the resistance between our own mind and heart. Adding heart is especially about practicing kindness and compassion, along with forgiveness and latitude in our interactions. Adding heart increases the love flowing through our system, which can play a large part in solving the collective challenges of those transitional times. HMI has developed reliable, scientific validated tools since 1991, helping people reduce and avoid stress while experiencing increased peace, satisfaction, and enjoyment. Research at the Heart Math Institute shows that adding heart to our daily activities and connections produce measurable benefits to our own and other well-being. We are at the dawn of recognizing love as a new transformational intelligence. Dr. Bruce Lipton, aka the father of epigenetics, states that epigenetics doesn't change the genetic code, it changes how that's read. Perfectly normal genes can result in cancer or death. Vice versa, in the right environment, mutant genes won't be expressed. Genes are equivalent to blueprints. Epigenetics is the contractor. All these work in harmony with each other. They are at the cutting edge of technology. Mind you, the ring doesn't exist today, but there are many technologies if merged will be the ring in the future. Fortunately for you, the human body is wired for this experience. You have the hardware and software already existing inside of you. It's up to you to use it appropriately. If you want the world to change, you must change yourself. You can learn how to reprogram your mind and body. You can learn how to live in the quantum field. After all, this is where you came from, and ultimately, this is where you're going to return to when you die. Age is Timeless, Part 2. My wife read Age is Timeless, and we had a great discussion about it. She thought that instead of having a ring, there could be something else. A ring you could lose it, or misplace it. Her idea was having an internal alarm clock that could be set by the mind. Imagine the internal alarm clock goes off, and for a minute, one goes to the quantum field. What if I told you in about 100 years we could have this incredible device? Imagine an internal alarm clock set by your mind. When the alarm goes off, you merge with the quantum field. You are no longer a body. You are beyond time and space. You have entered a field of intelligence that is beyond time and space. The Buddhists may call this the Buddha mind. Christians may call it the kingdom of heaven. Scientists may call it the quantum field. Imagine this device has an intelligence to scan your body and sense if any negative energy or darkness appears in your auric field. Scientists discovered way back in the 1990s that darkness first appears in your auric field, and then slowly through time it appears in your physical body. During the early 2000s, Western medicine still used drugs which had tremendous side effects to try to heal most diseases. Mind you, these drugs had tremendous side effects. By the way, most drug manufacturers were interested in making huge profits, and your health was secondary. This device knew what custom chemicals and hormones which the human brain and heart knew how to produce. Imagine the universe drugstores exist inside of you, and this device was intelligent enough to know precisely what energy frequencies, chemicals, and hormones was needed to bring the mind, body, and soul into alignment. This experience only lasted for a minute, yet it seemed timeless, which it was. Upon getting out of bed, you were in perfect harmony throughout the day. In the past, your subconscious mind controlled 95% of your actions. It still does, yet mankind learned how to reprogram the subconscious with a quantum field. All past negative experiences were transformed. Taking care of your body. When I was quite young, probably about 10 years old, I believed in preventative medicine. I'm not even sure if the term was around yet. Yet, I believe this is the only body you get, at least for this go-around. My belief that you should take care of it. Somehow I knew this body was extremely precious. I knew that the body was hardwired to find God. Yet, I was young. I had nobody to talk to growing up in Newport Beach. Yet, I became a surfer and rode the waves of life. My life was the ocean. Nature talked to me. It's hard to put into words how the ocean affects one's life. I could have a hard day at school, and as soon as I hit the water, I was free. I was a good surfer, not a great surfer. My friend Nick Roth was a great surfer, and still surfs today. Yet the ocean taught me so much at such a young age. My brother and I on weekends would surf 4 to 5 hours a day on the weekend. Consequently, we went to bed around 8 o'clock. Our friends would be out partying, yet we would be dreaming about waves. I learned a lot about the power of sleep and balance. Nature will teach you if you are open. Otherwise, it will close her mouth and not say a thing. You see, we have free will. The universe will not give any advice if you don't ask. I learned this at a young age. Being a teenager, we think we know it all and don't need any advice from anybody. The older we get, we see that was quite foolish. Our family had an incredible diet. We loved ethnic food and would have fresh fruits, vegetables, and chicken. We hardly had junk food. Soda was in our family on birthdays and holidays. I'm not saying we didn't eat junk food. Most of my junk food I bought from my allowances. Yet this way of eating from nature carried me over for the rest of my life. I learned not to be fanatical. I learned how to see the forest from the trees. I'm still doing that. The older I get, I fine-tune my lifestyle. My days of working as a software engineer is temporarily over. Today I'm learning about my practical ways to balance my life and be in harmony. I'm learning Tai Chi and Qigong from YouTube videos. I cast them on my TV and it works great. Personally, both of these are great for people who are older. I notice my balance is off, and these exercises will help to create balance and harmony in the body. During this stage of my life, I can see the great wisdom from the Taoists and ancient yogis. I'm at a point where harmony and balance is at a key point in my life. I recently saw a YouTube video from Sadhguru, and what he said is quite fascinating. He said that our bodies are made from the earth. Everything that you eat or drink comes into the body and transforms itself into the body. No wonder the great yogis were aware of what they ate. I never put two and two together. In the West, we don't even think about that. We just consume what comes to our mind. Our media will push any sorts of junk food so the consumer will buy. Making money is the object. Your health issues is your health issues. Maybe they believe if you are stupid enough to be addicted to our product, you are stupid enough to get sick. What am I saying? I'm trying to say is to slow down and stop for a few minutes. Watch your breath. Ask yourself if I'm responsible for my health issues. What can I do to make small baby steps to improve my state of being? I love my grandkids. How can I cultivate more patience and tolerance? How can I keep up with them? Remember, you have an infinite battery that exists inside of you. You can tap into that anytime you want. But first, it takes your will. Your actions speak more than your words. If you start loving to learn more about yourself and the universe, they will see that and gather a thirst and hunger for the same. Remember, their subconscious picks up everything at a young age. We all want our grandkids to learn to become the best that they can be. They have the genius inside. They need help and guidance to hold on to it for the rest of their life. We were never taught it. Today, we are still grasping at straws. As I said before, we only see 1% of the light spectrum. We are almost missing the entire picture. Yet, we think we totally know it all. If we become young and innocent at heart, we can discover our true nature. By doing so, we can develop an incredible bond with our grandkids. Ponder this over. The journey of life is infinite. We will never stop learning. Many of my family and friends are slowly disappearing. They have just entered the room next to us. Remember, we are never alone. state of mind. If the outside world is a reflection of our inward world, we aren't doing so well. At times, it seems like the world is on fire. Chaos is all around. Our nation is totally divided. We can't even get along with each other. I love the sayings of the American Indians. An eagle has a left wing and a right wing. It's all part of the body. Our nation can't seem to understand that fact. If you believe in my way of thinking, or you are an evil person, we will condemn you and mock you for your beliefs. We will even flame you on Facebook. Both sides of the left and right media will mock you. To be honest, kindergartner kids are more mature than that. At least they still have love and respect towards each other. Fortunately, millions of people are waking up and taking responsibility for their thoughts and actions. They don't tweet what comes through their mind at 3:30 in the morning. We should be in charge of our mind, not the other way around. Look at the opioid epidemic today. The mind is so powerful that people get hooked on a drug with dreadful side effects. Thousands of people are dying each year from overdoses. The drug industry releases this drug in huge quantities to make money. Unfortunately, when this drug enters the bloodstream, the mind and body gets hooked. These companies have made billions, yet thousands die each year. There are massive lawsuits going on. Justice will prevail. Why don't we learn in school how to become friends with the mind? Why don't we learn at a young age that our human body is the greatest drugstore in the universe? Imagine our human body is custom designed by God. If a person discovers his true nature over time, your drugstore will be open to you. In the meantime, our drug industry is controlling your lives for a huge profit. I do believe in universal health care. I don't believe that drug company should jack up their prices over 1,000% for users of insulin. At times, I think we should have never got rid of the homeopathic industry in America. Homeopathic medicine was a cornerstone medicine for Americans before the 1900s. In Europe, it's still the foundation today. The principle of homeopathic medicine is similar to vaccines today without the tremendous side effects. Imagine taking a solution and diluting it over 1,000,000 times. Many people would say that in essence, this is crazy. Yet, in reality, this is the closest thing to the quantum field. This medicine is going from physical to a higher vibrational state. Currently, a new state of energy systems and medicines are being developed. The concept of matter, healing matter from a chemical, is obsolete. Many scientists today see that the human body has the perfect drugstore within for healing the mind and body. Many new discoveries are being manifested today. Remember, it takes us several decades for things to be accepted by our society. We are at an incredible time in human history. I have great hope from humanity. The tools are coming to the surface. Millions of people are waking up and taking responsibility for their mind, thoughts, and actions. The only way to change your mind for the better is only through you. Ponder this over. What are you doing about your state of mind? gathering wisdom. Personally, I think that we will never stop learning and growing. We gather wisdom on this incredible journey of life. We can never clap our hands and say, well, now I know everything. I have reached my destination. To be honest, I don't think there is a final destination. Even if you meditate for 1 trillion years, there's more to learn on this journey of life. To be honest, that blows my mind. Just think that incredible power of love exists inside of you. Yet today, I see so many people walking around with their cell phones in their hands. They're crossing the crosswalk staring at their phones. They are completely oblivious of their surroundings. I like cell phones, yet at times I think they are one more extra layer that we create between us and God. Not only that, but we are losing touch with the earth. It's sad to go to a restaurant and see families staring at their cell phones. None of them are communicating with each other. I feel at times, where are we going? Technology can help guide us to discover the vast wisdom of the universe, or it can bind us more to our ignorance. It's our choice. We are like a parrot sitting in our cage. The door of wisdom is open all the time, yet we refuse to fly out of our cage. Wait, I just received an important message. Johnny is going on a date with Sally. Wow, that's important news. Lately, I've been saying that scientists say we only see 1% of the light spectrum. This means that we are missing almost completely the picture of life. The light spectrum contains the wisdom of the universe. Imagine the quantum field exists everywhere, yet most of the time we are playing the same tapes from the past. We live our lives in survival mode. We don't call it that, yet we don't live in the center of the hurricane. The winds of the mind blow us all around. True wisdom occurs when humanity starts to be aware and conscious of the jewel within. When mankind realizes that the subconscious controls 95% of our actions and learns how to reprogram it, we are one step into going into the right direction. This is the video game of life. We are at the level where science and mystics are both talking about the same thing. Millions of people are advancing to the next level. Millions of people are learning how to be proactive beings. Millions of people are gathering precious wisdom. They know that the vast universe exists inside each and every one of us. We are becoming great explorers, not only physical but internal. We send satellites into the sky, and they can go only 15,000 miles per hour. Just think, we have to go 186,000 miles per second and travel 2 years to reach the closest star. We are traveling, going putt-putt into the vastness of space. Yet, we have to start somewhere. Imagine there are civilizations out there that can travel anywhere in the universe in less than a second. We have a lot of wisdom to learn. Ponder this over. What are you doing to discover yourself? After all, this is your true nature. Being grandparents. Here's a list that we can teach our grandkids. Be kind. Have patience and tolerance towards others. There's a web of life unifying us all. Learn how to meditate on your breath. The entire universe lies inside of you. You are never alone. I die, I just move into the room next door in the mansion of life. Cry a little when I die, but laugh a lot. Never stop gathering wisdom. Life is learned from 2 steps forwards, 1 step backwards. Learn from your mistakes. Learn to live in the center of the hurricane. It's so easy to live in the hurricane of the mind. Life is an incredible adventure. Learn to love nature. Respect all sentient beings. Love your fellow man. Smile to all, even your bullies, they are in pain. Don't put gasoline on the fire. You will drink your own poison. Laugh at diversity. Monitor your thoughts and actions. If it is kind, speak it. If it is negative, don't put gasoline on the fire. Exercise daily. Take care of your mind, body, and soul. Cultivate your inner garden. Remove the boulders, rocks, and weeds. Learn how to meditate. This is the water that allows the seeds to grow. Learn the arts. You have your own self-expression. You are majestic. You are the universe. Cultivate compassion. Truly listen to others while they are speaking. Truly listen. There are 2 sides of the story. Don't be stubborn. Don't mock your fellow man. Get plenty of sleep. If you don't, your mind and body will get angry. Learn how to be in harmony with your mind and body. Listen to your body. It will tell you what it needs. If I'm feeling like I'm coming down with a cold, my body tells me to go to bed an hour early. You are never alone. Your ancestors are always with you. You have free will. Use it wisely. God lies inside of you waiting to be discovered. Before you were born, you came from God. When you die, you will go back to God. Discover that connection while you are alive. It will make life a lot easier. Respect all religions. They all go back to God. Try to see God before everything you see, because God is everywhere. Pray to God. God will listen. Meditate upon God. God will speak. Take care of this planet. Remember, humans are stewards of all creatures. War is obsolete. Need I say more? As Bugs Bunny once said, don't take life so seriously, you will never get out of it alive. That's all, folks. Keep your smile. Did you know that children smile about 400 times a day, while the average adult smiles around 15 times? What gives? As we age, does our happiness dwindle? Does it get stolen from us? Did you know that you even smile in your womb? I find that quite fascinating. Smiling is universal. It is something that all cultures embrace. We love to see smiling children. It brings joy to the day. Smiling is incredible for the human body. We are wired to smile. Yet at times we get so trapped into this world, we can't see the joy of life. We take life so seriously. Imagine when you die. You can't take anything with you but the smile on your face. Your job doesn't mean anything when you die, yet we get so worked up and at times rattled by our job. A wise man focuses on the inner smile of life. The Taoists even have a smiling meditation where they smile at different parts of the body. Many people laugh and scoff at the idea, yet many scientists see the validity of this. You see, the mind and body can't be separated. Many scientists say that cancer is angry cells. Imagine if you instruct the cells to be happy. The mind and body would be happy. To keep your smile in life, one learns how to put your attention inside. One learns how to get rid of the boulders, rocks, and weeds inside of our garden. How can one truly have a smile on one's face when we carry so much unnecessary burdens? Everyone loves to have a smile on their face. We need to find the hidden jewel that exists inside of us. I may sound like a broken record, yet my viewpoint is to have my awareness outside of the box. Why get sucked in to the politics of today? Why should I flame someone? A wise man, when encountered with obstacles, will just smile. He doesn't have anything to say or prove. The Buddhists say that when we get angry, we drink our own poison. Modern day scientists totally agree with this. They have even found that over 1,500 different stress chemicals when we are angry. Look at America and the media today. Both sides are pissed off and are angry towards one another. Neither side will listen to one another. I'm right and you are evil is the name of the game. We need to come back to common decency. We have lost our ways, yet we think we are found. A child is innocent and therefore smiles a lot. The average adult is quite complicated, therefore doesn't smile as much. We must rediscover our inner child. It's still there, yet it is hidden. Even the Christ said, we must be like a child. Only the innocent and pure can perceive the kingdom within. This journey of life is dependent where we place our will. If you want a life where you don't smile, get involved in politics and fire away. You will meet someone who has a different point of view. Remember, there are always two sides of the story. Maybe we can start to truly listen to the other side and not get hot-headed with one another. After all, the ego has a left wing and right wing. Remember, it's all one body. We do the separation in life. The media loves to create diversity and separation. Ponder this over. Learn how to bring your inner smile back into your life. Don't take life so seriously. As Bugs Bunny once said, don't take life so seriously. You would never get out of it alive. I heard that quote over 40 years ago. It still rings like a bell inside of me. Our society gets so serious. With that complete seriousness, we have a tendency to take on the world. We look at the media and they show all the negativity in the world today. Lately, many new channels display a great heartwarming segment at the end of the program. If you are too serious, you miss out on life. You might have a tendency to lose your childhood innocence and playfulness in life. Look, I'm not saying don't be serious. I'm saying it should be in balance. Balance is the key here. You don't want to be a fanatic. The goal is to have your feet on the ground and your head in heaven. I'm serious in my life, yet I can laugh and joke about it. Every one of us is on our own particular journey. We're individual pieces of the puzzle called life. We all have wisdom and experience to share. No man is an island. We are on the same boat called life. Just think that when a person gets too serious, we have a tendency to think inside of the box. When the mind is clear and relaxed, thoughts will float up to the surface. That's good old Albert Einstein. He was an incredible daydreamer. He realized the incredible potential of a clear mind. What makes us get so serious in life? Do we think by taking on the boulders and rocks will make us strong? Do we have to have the weight of the world on our shoulders? What gives? Why are we like this? The mystics have said to remove the boulders, rocks, and weeds in the inner garden. One can have the wisdom of the universe and yet be childlike in nature. We think it must be one or the other. We think one must choose sides. The great Taoists of the past talked about being in harmony with the universe and having a childlike nature. You see, only a child can be in harmony with nature. They are born coming directly from the source of all. As we get older, it slowly fades away until we no longer know that it existed inside of us. This is our true nature. You can rediscover your childlike nature. Even at any age, it's not too late. Your mind, body, and soul will thank you for this. Life is an adventure. This life is a grand adventure. It is meant to be explored. Unfortunately, the majority of us are playing the same tapes over and over again. Our alarm clock goes off. If we push the not yet button and close our eyes. We do this a few times and finally get up. We are bored with our job. Did you know around 80% of American workers hate their jobs? And that's a huge percentage. We are bored with our jobs. Most Fortune 500 companies truly don't have your best interests in mind, especially when you're over 55 years old. Age discrimination is huge in our company, in our country. I was laid off from Charles Schwab after 10 years of service. I was 55 years old. I just saved the company about $1 billion that year. Anybody who worked on that project got laid off. I got a great severance pay based upon me signing a document. I wouldn't sue the company. They knew what they were doing. Everything is a blessing in disguise. Personally, I think an adventure is a mindset. When I was young, I traveled around the world. I traveled from France to India with my surfboard. I hitchhiked from Kenya to South Africa. Those were grand adventures. Those were the time of external adventures. While in India, I learned how to meditate, and my life totally changed. I learned how to make so-called mundane life a great adventure. I learned that in each and every moment, we can be bored, or we can ride the wave of life inside of us. In that state, one sees the unity of all life. The universe is not bored. Only man gets bored. You see, it's our state of mind. Our state of mind dictates our emotions and actions. This creates our temporary moods, which leads, in the long term, our personality. Did you know that boredom stems from our mind? In the long term, our personality gets bored with life. Look at the opioid epidemic today. People are so bored they risk dying using these drugs. And unfortunately, thousands are dying each year. We have a drug industry which made billions of dollars from these people. Personally, you can have $1 billion and be bored with life. You can have all the big boy toys. You can travel the world staying in first-class hotels. But if your mind is bored, you will be bored. It all boils down to our state of mind. When I was in India, I saw so many poor people who had the zest for life. They knew this life was a grand adventure. They were not bored with life. It does not matter if you are rich or poor. A wise man understands that it's up to him to change the mindset of being bored, to seeing that in each and every moment one can change his attitude. We do not learn that in our schools. I find that fascinating. You would think that something as simple as a state of mind would be taught in schools. It seems so obvious. Yet, common sense is uncommon. I see many schools in America and England are teaching meditation. This is a step in the right direction. Ponder this over. If you are bored and angry with life, what are you going to do about it? Only you can change. You can have heaven right between your eyes, yet if you are bored, you won't see it. This life is truly a grand adventure, yet we need the eyes to see. Discover the jewel within. Mystics throughout the ages had said, in one way or the other, this central theme: discover the jewel within. This is truly the essence of life. Mind you, there are infinite amounts of paths to get there. Each one of us has our own custom-built hardware and software. What may work for you, work for me, may not work for you. Yet all of us must go inside to discover our true nature. The external world is a reflection of our inside world. I studied the Kabbalah about 18 years ago. We had this famous saying, feet on the ground and head in heaven. I really like that saying. Firmly plant your feet on earth, yet have your head in heaven. This world would be truly heaven if humanity understood this basic principle of life. If we only look external, we miss the big picture. We divide ourselves into many petty boxes. I'm right and you're wrong. My God loves me, yet he hates you. I can't tolerate you. Our petty beliefs hold humanity down. We've been fighting for thousands of years with no end in sight. Without humanity discovering the jewel within, we will continue with our old ways. We were never taught to cultivate our inner garden. The great scriptures talked about it, yet humanity has never truly embraced it. We never put into practice how to tame our mind. Your state of mind dictates your awareness and actions. You can't separate the two. Thought equals action. Action equals thought. The Dalai Lama once said that kindness is my religion. The foundation of this universe is kindness. Who would you want to be around? A person who is a bully? A person who is kind? True kindness contains true wisdom. A bully will always find fault in others, never in himself. He will taunt you and make fun of you. It's all about himself. He feels that the entire world revolves around himself. He will disregard the thought of others. Even when the majority of people around him agree with certain circumstances, he will totally mock them and say how stupid they are. Our present-day politics needs to change for the better. Personally, you can't govern without kindness towards all. If you don't have kindness, separation occurs. My party is better than your party. The left wing and the right wing has the same body as the eagle. You can't separate one from the other, yet we do this in real life. America is divided. Anger is the norm. Chaos is all around. In my eyes, this is a reflection of our state of mind. In order to express anger, you must be angry. A kind person is not angry. The majority of Americans are a mixture of kindness and anger, including myself. We need to find a balance. Discover the jewel within. You will find what I'm talking about. You are a piece of the puzzle called life. The world will change for the better when you change. The world needs kindness. The world needs kindness. Even the Dalai Lama said, kindness is my religion. We do not need politicians that are bullies. The world has seen bullies for ever so long. From playgrounds to schools to our democratic process. Personally, a bully can't think correctly. A bully will react to every given situation. A kind person will stop, look, and listen. A kind person will always monitor his thoughts and actions. A kind person will take a look at the other side of the story. A kind person has love and compassion. Many people think that man can rule by certain policies without a man having any ethics or morals. This is the condition in America today. Neither side can listen to one another. Both sides love to flame each other. As a matter of fact, both sides get a big kick out of it. Look at the media today. Yet kindness is our true nature. It is simply covered by the clouds of ignorance. We have simply forgotten. Look at an innocent child. He is full of kindness, love, and compassion. Yet, as we grow older, it starts to fade away. For many people, they still try to hold on to it. They try to be good in all situations. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When the Chinese invaded Tibet in the 50s, many of the monks were thrown in prison. Many of them were tortured. They were all worried that they might lose their kindness towards their fellow man. I firmly believe that if all mankind was kind, that our world would change for the better in all ways. We would have a totally different society. Most of the world's problems would be solved through kindness. We could face any obstacle and overcome them. Yet, to be honest, we don't have the emotional, spiritual mindset. We still believe in war. War is obsolete. Did you know there might be civilizations out there who dropped the concept of war millions of years ago? Yet they had to overcome their warring tendencies. Nobody gets a free ride in life. Everyone must grow and strive on this ladder of life. There have been civilizations that have probably blown themselves up because of their warring nature. At times, it's so easy to push a button when one is angry. Look at the gun violence today in America. Imagine, almost 18 years ago, a man was found with a shoe bomb in England. This started with a policy that remains around the world today. You must take off your shoes. Today in Kansas City, around 500 shootings have occurred in the metro area. Today is September 11th. The year is not over. We have been fighting in Afghanistan since 2001. A hornet's nest have been shook up. We still don't know how to solve this war. Personally, I think that kindness is the answer. We have tried being the bully and hasn't worked out for us. Now you see it, now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't. We come into this world empty-handed, and we leave this world empty-handed. When Alexander the Great was dying, he had conquered the world, yet upon dying, he realized he couldn't take anything with him. This is the same case for all. You can't take anything external with you when you die. Everything gets taken away except for the jewel inside. This is your true essence. It can never be taken away from you. Yet thousands of people die every day. Fortunately, the soul never dies. Everything goes back to the source of life. One raindrop falls from the sky and ultimately returns to the ocean of life. Everything gets created and everything gets destroyed. Even the universe comes and goes like a wave on the ocean. The entire universe is alive while we are texting on the freeway of life. We are oblivious of this matter. The earth is singing to us, yet we don't have ears to listen. This is a man's awareness today. Fortunately, millions of people are waking up from their slumber. When I was young, I quite frequently contemplated death. I was told that if you were good, you would go to heaven. If you were bad, you would go to hell. Some said that when you died, you became unconscious, never to wake up again. While I was in India, they had this saying, Sat Chit Anand. It means truth is the consciousness of bliss. When the mind is concentrated on the truth, one's awareness is on bliss. Mankind is custom designed to experience truth on a moment-by-moment basis. The human body is hardwired for this experience, yet the card is sitting in our garage gathering dust. Our human body contains chemicals that scientists can't even imagine. Christ was one of the wise men who had the capability to be open to the fountain of life. You are the universe. You just don't know it. I say that a lot, but I imagine many of my friends roll their eyes and say, "There goes Richard, spouting such nonsense." But quantum physics today have proved this. They believe the entire universe is conscious and alive. The world of the mystic and scientists are merging today. In the mid-70s was a book called The Tao of Physics. What was interesting about this book was that you couldn't tell the difference between the scientists and mystics of old. Mind you, this was over 40 years ago. So much has changed since then. Both worlds have gotten so much closer. Imagine today, we have so many training wheels to discover the jewel within. There are hundreds of meditations on YouTube. There are many meditation applications on our phone devices. In my eyes, these are all wonderful training wheels that can be used. Just like riding a bike, one can take off the training wheels at some point in time. At some point, a human being knows how to connect directly to the source within without using anything external. Mind you, I'm not saying not to use them. They are incredible devices to help you discover your true nature. But ultimately, when you die, you go back to the source of all. Closing. I hope you got something out of this book. Maybe you might start to think outside of the box. These are exciting times for humanity. The world of the mystic and science is merging together. What was once unfathomable is now being realized by millions of people all around the planet. This book was written to show you various ways for us to wake up from our slumber. This life is an incredible journey. We've just started to scratch the surface of man's capabilities. Once man overcomes negative emotions on a daily basis, our culture can truly transform. We've been fighting for ever so long. Can you imagine the time when the world doesn't spend a dime on defense? Just think of all the good things as a world we can do. Once we overcome our warring tendencies, huge transformations will occur. Remember, the battle exists within. Your thoughts and actions dictate the world you have around you. We have it the other way around. Maybe that's the problem. We think it is external, while the whole time it is internal. Isn't that a paradox? The entire time we could have simply changed our perspective from external to internal. If humanity did this eons ago, we would have peace on earth now. We will always learn on this journey of life. Sometimes we learn by been there, done that. I don't need to repeat that lesson. This journey will have many hills and valleys. Hopefully, you can discover the tools within to make this journey easier. Maybe it might be a good idea to get rid of the boulders, rocks, and weeds that exist within. Modern-day scientists have proven that emotions get stored into the human body. At times we hold on to our trauma for dear life. We don't want to let go. You can let go of your traumas and never have it return again. Ponder this book over. We are not over the hill. The journey has just begun. Remember, you are the universe. The journey will never end.